You have arrived. And you're connecting to audio.
Hey.
Oh, you look just like your picture.
Wait. Are we starting already?
Oh my God, look at you!
How are you?
I'm really good. It's so nice to see your face.
Are we live already or no? Not yet.
We're not live. We're recording, so I can chip and chop and chop and chip and chop.
Okay, good.
Oh my gosh, it's so nice to see you.
You look so good.
You don't age.
Oh, thank you.
You look gorgeous. I was gonna just ask, it's not Clifford. You like Cliff?
Oh, I don't care. You can call me whatever.
Okay, Cliff. And Bañagale?
Bañagale.
Bañagale.
Yeah, think Italian, but it's Spanish.
Bañagale.
You look good. You look really good. You look better than when we were in school.
Thank God things are getting better because
I remember when you were like, no, film me. Look.
I swear, underneath, it's like...
Yeah, you are She-Hulk.
I was like Wonder Woman before she got cast by the Wonder Woman. 10 years too early. Oh my God, this is going to be so long and so fun. Okay. Welcome, Cliff Bañagale. He's a Filipino-American actor who's best known for his role in Brüno as Diesel with Sacha Baron Cohen. And that's when I realized that was you. I was in the theater in Calgary and I was like, I think that's Cliff. That was funny. That was really funny.
Thank you.
But your career started at age 7 and you trained in opera, which is so fascinating. How did you get into opera?
My grandma was an opera singer and she sang a lot in church. She was also a school teacher up until she passed away and retired. And so she was like a source of my inspiration. But my dad was a singer too and a guitarist. And then my aunt was also a singer and a dancer. And there's a lot of art in my family.
Beautiful. And you're like full-on Filipino? You're not mixy?
Well, my dad's side is like Samoan, Spanish, Filipino. And then my mom's side is Chinese, Filipino, Italian.
Oh my gosh, what a good mix. Like you're just the whole world. You are the world.
All the parties were in my house.
That's amazing. I love that. Okay, so let's and then so you opera, then you got into dancing, and then that transitioned into acting on screen. How did you find the American Musical Dramatic Academy? How did you stumble across that?
So when I was 17, about to graduate high school, right, at 18, I was auditioning in a lot of places. There was a few that I wanted to go to. There was DePaul University, there was NYU, there was Tisch, there was, Juilliard and AMDA. Juilliard and then AMDA. And then, so I was so nervous to audition for Juilliard, and but every other school was like, okay, I can do this. And then, so I remember AMDA being one of the top schools that were far away from LA that I wanted to get to because I needed to get away from LA. And my parents, just a teen thing. And so I auditioned when they were here in LA, and I get in and I get a scholarship, and my dad doesn't let me go. Story of my life.
Like, Dad, no, it's free. Like, this is good stuff.
Yeah, he's like, no.
Yeah.
Why don't you're going all the way to New York. Why don't you just stay home and go to the school down the street?
Interesting. Our stories are reversed because I got accepted to the New York campus.
Ooh.
And I was like, I don't think so. I need sun. Because I'm from Calgary, Alberta, Canada, and it's cold. So I thought you have to go to LA for warmth. So when they offered me New York, I'm like, are you guys crazy? So I actually said, no, thank you. Call me when you allow aliens to go. That's what they called us. Aliens, because I'm from Canada.
Yeah.
Aliens can go to Los Angeles, call me. So I actually declined. And then I got a call, I think almost 6 months later, that they finally let foreign students because I'm a foreigner.
Yeah.
Which is so
Wow.
weird. I keep forgetting. I remember there's a notice on the board saying all like foreigner students or foreign students or I thought I swear it said aliens. You know how they call you.
I think it does say alien.
Yes. And I remember
Yeah.
seeing that, and I couldn't understand what they were saying. And then Bobby Traversa, he's like, Juliana, you're an alien. I'm like, I am? He's like, you're Canadian. I'm like, oh my God, it's me. Oh, what did your parents want you to be? Like full-on nurse, doctor? Like, what do they want you to be?
Doctor, nurse, or lawyer.
You weren't joking. Okay, that was like legit.
No.
Like that was what school was. Okay.
Yeah.
I thought it was a joke. I was like, oh, are we doing the stereotypical Filipino thing? You're like, no, this is it.
No.
The real deal. Okay.
But you can also ask all your Filipino friends. They will definitely tell you the top three.
I already talked to my friend Cheryl, and she's like, literally, she's going through her like new revamp, and her dad's like, should we maybe reconsider and maybe nurse? And she's like, she has no, but she's like on HGTV, like she's like a well-known design, like she's in it, and he's like, should you like redo your career? She's like, Mom. She's like, no, I just need a hot second to just like figure out the next step, Dad. I don't need to go back to school.
Yeah.
Oh my God, she'll love that I told this story. Okay, so I want to also talk about the amazing thing. Like I saw Willie in the Sky, and that's why I reached out to you.
Yeah.
Willie in the Sky was directed by Nathaniel Siri, and he won several awards internationally. You actually won the awards for Best Actor in that, right?
I won an award at the Picasso, Einstein, and Buddha Film Festival for Best Actor. Yeah, that was pretty cool.
It was a really beautiful piece. Like everything about it was like, I think it was also, like you said, timely. It was just such a beautiful perspective on that feeling of being isolated, even though the character, I would say, was, in a sense, I don't know what you would say, bipolar or like had some mental struggles. But I feel we've all been through that. And to see that through the character's eyes was just so touching. And you played it just so beautifully. It was really like a poem. It was very poetic. It was perfect.
Thank you.
I
I felt like, Nathaniel really wrote the story for the common person that was like stuck in their mind and, felt like either out of touch or felt too far away to be close to someone else, and you can be living with someone and still feel so far away. And you're right, like, it's definitely open to interpretation as far as like Willie's journey in the film, but I encourage everyone to watch it. When I watched it maybe 2 or 3 times, I saw something new, and he's really good at doing that, placing different nuggets in different parts of the film until you figure out, where all those little nuggets are. And there were a lot of films that came out during the quarantine, and it was a pretty special time because it made people like really work within and not so much the commercial point of view.
Yes, I would agree very much so. There's a figure skater as well. Like he was training for the Olympics, and all of a sudden it's not about what the judges want to see. And now he's posting videos on YouTube of different, like I've never seen ice skating like this before. I'll send it to you. It's like hip hop on ice. It's like backflips. It's not like the standard what you have to do to get a point. It's I'm feeling the music and interpreting it as I want as an artist. And I feel like you said, that's what we're seeing with film now. Like the people who had to do shorts in their home, they could break the mold. I felt. And you went blonde. You went hot platinum blonde for that role. Was that your?
Oh yeah,
I love
that. Was like when people
midlife
say,
crisis, honey.
Anytime that you go through a crisis, you either chop your hair off or go blonde.
I'm going blonde tomorrow.
Oh.
In my head.
Well, okay.
I have no time to go anywhere.
I mean, I did it myself, and it took like 6 hours. So I appreciate all the fake blondes. You bought it. You buy it.
Get it. But like it was beautiful. But was that your decision as a character, or was that Nathaniel was like, you're going blonde?
No, I was actually blonde for a good year before the movie. Yeah. And one day I came into my agent's office, and he was like, Clifford, are you gonna keep that blonde? I was like, I don't know, should I just go back to black? because I feel like that's easy. He was like, I mean, how many blonde Asians do you know? And I'm thinking, you know,
That's a
in
good
my in my family, there are a lot of blonde Asians.
Oh, really? Oh, like,
Not
yeah.
naturally.
Yeah. And then also, I really need to see this because I haven't watched it yet, but Busong Palawan Fate. Am I saying it right?
Palawan Fate.
Palawan Fate. So you produced this as well as starred in it. What was it about? Can you tell me a little bit about it?
Sure. It's actually based on the fables of an island in Palawan. Palawan is a small island within the Philippines. And if you know, there's like 1,500 islands in the Philippines, depending on high tide or low tide. And the director reached out to me a long time ago. He was like, hey, I saw your film, Brüno, and, you know, I have an idea. I have a film that I wanted to produce and write right now. And this is my story. And the story is about, you know, a half native, half I would say, city boy that forgets his roots. So he leaves the city, goes back to the island after 20 years, and re-engages in his old environment. And his environment is really involved in like the holistic approach to life. He and his family are shamans, and there's a lot of other wonderful nature-based ideas and ideals that you get to see within the movie. And it's really also like celebrating Mother Nature and native culture.
Does it it has English subtitles because it went to quite a few film festivals, so I can watch it? We're good?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can you send that, like the link of where can I watch it? Where do I go?
Do you speak French?
Je parle un petit peu.
Oh.
That was like over the top. It's like je parle un petit peu.
Well, there's a French version too.
No, I know. You're the Canadian. No. Sorry, I'm not Montreal like your husband. No,
we'll make it easy.
I'm like the Texas
English.
Canada. Yeah, English is great. That's the good one. That's the one I can speak. So I wanted to talk about your audition. Would you say Brüno kind of catapulted you? Would that be the one that kind of?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Absolutely.
How many Filipinos were auditioning, and was he stuck on Filipino?
No, there was every single person that you can possibly imagine auditioning. I submitted myself through Actors Access, and this was before I had an agent. I only had a manager. Casting. It was probably my third casting that day. And then I was right after that casting, I was going to go do Hair the Musical. And I was in the process of the shows. So I was like, oh my God, okay, one last audition. And then I remember the casting director.
And when you did the accent, what accent did you do? I don't remember, because you didn't even talk really in it.
Yeah. I had a very Eurasian, it was a very Eurasian accent, more specifically like Persian, Vietnamese, Thai kind of mix.
Yeah.
And I took all the good parts of those accents, and I made it my own. And she was like, wait, is that your real voice? Is that your real accent? And I was like, yes. She's like, okay, fine. And so, you know, we did a scene together, just like any other audition. And she's like, I'm going to call you back anyway, but I'm going to give you a note. I was like, okay. And so I leave, I go to my show. I'm not even thinking anything of it. And then I hear that I got a call back like 3 days officially later.
Crazy. Okay. And then when you met, did you know much about Sacha Baron Cohen before you?
I was watching Ali G 6 months before, and I was like, oh my God, I have a new idol.
So when they told you what the movie was for with Sacha Baron Cohen, what did you say?
I did not know.
You didn't know till you went to film?
I didn't know until I got to my callback.
Okay, then you called back and then they told you, and what did you say?
Well, I didn't know until I entered the room.
Okay, so because he was there. Okay, so you went in, there's Sacha Baron Cohen, you're like, I know you.
Yeah, well, 6 months ago, I was watching Ali G, And you know, so now I'm stuck in this like long hallway of just packed gays, right?
Yeah.
Of every kind of gay imaginable. And I'm like, and I didn't realize I was one of the last people in the group. And I happened to be, because I was so far away from like the front of the door, I was actually in front of the or across the audition room, so I can hear when they would laugh or when they wouldn't laugh, right? And I'm like, oh my god, why are they not funny? You know, I was just thinking, why are these people not funny? And then like people would come out of the room, and a few times someone would like say, hey Cliff, good seeing you. And I'm like, that's the first time. How do you know me? I'm like, this is weird. Okay, so I go into the room. As soon as I open the room, literally, like, I think there's like 30 people in that small little callback room. I get in there, and all I remember is like, why are there so many people in here? And then in a quick second, I was like, oh my god, those are the producers. There's the writers.
Oh,
you know,
it was on like Donkey Kong. Like this
on
is
like
like
Donkey
the
Kong.
finale.
And then Sasha's just sitting in the corner and at his desk and like smiling at me, and everyone's already laughing.
They're just looking at you and laughing.
Yeah, and I'm like,
that's nice. I feel like I haven't started.
Why are they laughing at me?
Why were they laughing at you? What's so funny?
I don't know. But I, at that point, I was like, I'm kind of, I don't know if I should be offended or not. Is there something, am I doing something wrong? Or, you know, but I guess everything I was doing was working for me.
Oh, were you already in character, or you didn't even
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you were in character, so you were walking as Brüno's like sassy.
I was walking as Diesel the entire time.
Well, you like, okay, you cracked me up. When I watched it, I was confused because I told my husband, like, how did they find a Filipino to do this? And I was like, I wonder if the Filipino knows that he's in this. And then I'm like, this looks identical to Cliff. I'm like, so confused right now because you pulled it off, like fresh off, can I say the boat? That's not bad, right?
Yeah.
Like, I didn't know, because, you know, I've seen his movies, and a lot of the times he tricks people or takes people from different things. And you pulled it off so good. I was so sad and scared for his lover because I didn't know if it was I was like, does this person know that they're being filmed? Like, I just, honestly, you played it so good. I was
thanks.
So confused. And then it wasn't until the end of the sequence, I'm like, I wonder if this is my friend from school. And then I'm like, and then I said to my husband, I said, if this is my friend Cliff, he should be like winning an Oscar because he like totally had me. Like, totally.
Thank you.
You're very when you enter the zone.
Well, I was really scared for a very long time through the filming process, but also excited, you know. And I remember when we were doing the cast party, the crew party where we're showing the film at the Grauman's Chinese Theater, and you know, all the celebrities are there. It's just like a simple, like, you know, party, right? And then so we go to the 311, this club that's right down this street from I don't know if you remember where the Kodak Theater is, but they have a lot of the parties straight from like the theater all the way to the club. And so we get in there and I'm talking to everyone, and Sasha was like, so how does your mom and dad think about the film? And I was like, I haven't told them.
Oh my God, you haven't told them about it?
I haven't told them. And like, you know, the guy that played something, McLovin. So McLovin and I were talking, and Jonah Hill's there, and then like and Sasha was like, so how do your parents like the movie? What did they say? And I'm like, I didn't tell my parents. I didn't tell my parents for a very long time.
Were you scared, or?
Yeah, I was very scared, and you know, it was the first time that literally when they say it was like when people experience something very big all of a sudden, if you don't have people, great mentors or people that speak into your life, and you have a good close sphere of influence that are within your realm that are good, it can be very overwhelming. At that time I was so young, and I just traveled back to LA. So many things were happening, and I was traveling all around the world with the crew, and then all of a sudden, bam, the film, and I didn't know how to handle it. So I didn't tell my parents until my dad called me and left me a message, maybe 2 or 3 weeks after the movie came out, and he was like, "Hey, I just saw your film. We got to talk."
Oh.
Like, oh my god, he saw it. Obviously he had to see it in the theater, so he saw everything in a big scale.
Yeah. Not on the small like screen where it's like staticky and you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I called, like, "Hey, Dad,
Are you okay?
he's like, "Hey, I saw your film. Why don't you tell me?" And then they start cracking up, and I realized they told me my mom and dad went on a date, and they happened to see that movie. I was like, "That? Well, how is that?"
That says a lot about your parents. How dare they?
I know.
You should know better than that. Oh, I thought it was very, very funny. And again, like I said, you had me fooled. You played it so good. Like, so good. Okay, what's the greatest piece of advice someone's ever given you? Just really turn this around.
Sure. One of my friends, he's a really fantastic producer, and he was a producer for Tyra Banks and also Jerry Springer. And he said, when someone gives you an opportunity, never say no, because you don't know where that opportunity will lead. Whether it's a good or bad experience for you, that's going to be up to you. But but don't turn down an opportunity because, again, you don't know where it will lead, right? So if lesson of the story, if I was like going to my third audition before a show and I was like, fuck it, I'm not gonna go, I mean, imagine I wouldn't have been in Brüno.
Right. And that's really opened the door to so many other opportunities. That's true.
Yeah.
So where do you see yourself in 10 years from now?
In 10 years, I will still continue to make films, and I want to continue to make films in my way, in my power, right? And the great thing about kind of where everyone is heading in film and creatives is that you have a lot of access to your own stuff, your own editing, your own writing. You can own your own stuff and sell, right? And really being successful at the business side of it, because acting is a business, and a lot of people forget that. A lot of people see what's on screen and they see all these actors and they come here to LA or they go to New York or somewhere else and like, I'm going to be just like them, but they don't realize the work that comes with it, the investment, not just in you, but in also your materials that gets to be expensive, right? If you don't have a plan, and also having that thick skin. A lot of the people that you see on TV or on film have been doing it since they were like kids, and so if acting is going to be a lifelong journey for you, make sure it's a journey that you will never quit, and that is not just an option or a want. It has to be a need, and that need is going to provide you like the ability to go through those days and those times where you don't have a lot to eat, where you can't pay your bills, right? When you're couch surfing, when you don't have money to put in your gas, when you can't pay your car, or if you're lucky enough to even have one, right? Because I can speak to that. I've definitely have those moments. I've had that time, and you have to have a good amount of people that are speaking into you, that are people that you admire and whose careers or lifestyle you want. You don't ever want to, and it's easy here in Hollywood because there's a lot of fun things to do, right? And it's very easy to just kind of go off course with the fun crowd that will take away your dream. And part of that dream is staying in bed, doing the work.
Doing the work, yeah, the prep.
Right. Plucking that note until you get it. Studying the dance move that you're not getting in tap. Things like that. That's the work.
That's very true. What do you feel the pandemic has taught you on a positive note?
Sure. The pandemic for me has really made me focus on the person that I see in the mirror. And that can be a very scary thing to do, but it can also be a very uplifting thing to happen in your life, because it makes you see all the good in you and all the things that you want to improve, right? And you sometimes, in order for you to get to the next part of your life, you got to get through that's holding you back, and sometimes it's you that holds you back.
Yeah, no, that's very true. What would you tell your 18-year-old self today?
I would say 18-year-old Cliff. It's very good that you already stand your ground, that you are independent and you think independently. I encourage you to do more. I encourage you to focus on the end goal and not necessarily how you will get there, because you will figure it out, and that you have thicker skin than you think.
I love that. And if you were to say, Cliff, in 10 years from now, producing, directing, writing, or acting, which one gets you all excited?
I'm definitely still going to be producing and acting. Yeah.
You're
and
not looking into directing?
No, because Nat does that.
Okay, so yeah.
But I do like to
when you say
coach
Nat,
and mentor. Huh?
Do you mean Nathaniel?
Nathaniel, yeah.
Is that your husband?
Yeah.
Stop. Okay. Okay. So, Nathaniel, who did the movie, is your husband.
Yes.
Great news. Okay, now it's all, I'm like, wait a minute. We keep talking about Nathaniel. That's amazing. I didn't know that was your husband's film.
Yeah.
Oh, so he's a creative too.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna do a fun round. Are you ready?
Sure.
Just have this, whatever comes to your head. There's no right or wrong. When you watch it back, it may be right or wrong, but okay, here we go. So, what was the funnest set to be on?
Brüno.
Describe your sense of style.
Oh, Italian.
Okay. Jazz, tap, or ballet? Ballet.
Oh, ballet.
Okay. What's your best fashion statement piece? Like if you were going out on the red carpet, what would you need to wear?
My jacket.
Okay. Best meal you ever had?
Like French cuisine.
Watch. We're gonna do this together. I'm gonna answer this with you. Ready? Favorite place to travel? Italy.
Wait, I didn't hear you.
Oh, okay, wait.
Okay.
Favorite place to travel?
Italy.
Okay, and then we're gonna finish it off on the real note. Who's the most inspiring person you've ever met?
The most inspiring person I've ever met would be Nathaniel. Yeah, he is a dreamer. He definitely dreams in his sleep. He has this like fantastical point of view for film, and he is a definite artiste. And there's a lot of very special ways that he interprets dance on film and movement, but he also knows how to make poetry without words. And I think I'm a very talkative person, so is he. But watching his stuff makes me feel something other than what I know.
Oh, that's so beautiful.
Yeah.
Where is he?
He's filming.
Oh, I'm like, Nathaniel, you don't know. That was so awesome. Well, thank you so much for taking the time and sharing your story with us.
My pleasure. It's been a fantastic ride. And you look so gorgeous, so fierce, so fabulous. Yeah, and you will definitely be PS making everyone famous.
Ooh, you said it right. Thanks, baby.